They called it a promised land, but what was left behind was only a field of bodies in the dense and humid jungles of Guyana, a place far from prying eyes. A charismatic preacher named Jim Jones built his supposed utopia. It was called Jonestown, a community meant to escape the corruption of America and live in equality and love. But what bloomed there was not freedom. It was control. It was isolation. It was the slow tightening grip of a manipulator who demanded absolute devotion. The people who followed him were not foolish. They were seekers, men and women searching for meaning, belonging, justice. Jim Jones knew how to offer it. He preached racial equality. He gave the poor a voice. He gave the lonely a family. But like many cult leaders, he gave everything only to take it all away. In Jonestown, no one was free. Letters were censored. Visits were monitored. Children were separated from their parents. Punishments were public. And every day, sermons blasted through loudspeakers reminding the followers that Jones was God and the outside world was the enemy. Then came November of 1978. A U.S. congressman named Leo Ryan traveled to Jonestown after rumors of abuse and imprisonment. At first, the community welcomed him with fake smiles, rehearsed words, staged happiness, but the illusion cracked. Several members passed notes begging for rescue. Desperate to leave the paradise that had become a prison, Ryan agreed to take them. But as he prepared to depart with the defectors, Jim Jones made his choice. On the airstrip nearby, his armed guards, known as the Red Brigade, opened fire. Congressman Ryan was murdered, along with several journalists and defectors. It was the first blood, but not the last. Back in Jonestown, Jones gathered his followers in the pavilion. He spoke with calm certainty that death was their only path. He framed it as a revolutionary act, a protest against the world that sought to destroy them. The vats of flavored drink laced with cyanide appeared. Mothers gave it first to their children. Babies cried before going silent. Then the adults followed one by the hundreds. Over 900 bodies lay across the ground. Men, women, children, entire families gone in a single night. It remains the largest mass suicide of modern history, but many did not drink willingly. Some were forced, some were injected, some were held down. It was not a choice. It was murder masked as loyalty. Think about it, hundreds of human beings surrendering their final breath, not in chaos, but in eerie order, their trust in one man greater than their instinct to survive. That image, more than the bodies, more than the poison, is what lingers. The human capacity to obey even when obedience means death. And while you sit with that, I want to ask you something. If these voices from the past matter to you, if this journey into the darkest corners of human belief has value, please subscribe to this channel. It matters more than you think. Your support keeps us digging deeper into stories that others turn away from. And tell me in the comments, do you believe the people of Jonestown chose their fate? Or were they all simply victims of manipulation, psychologique? Your voice matters here. It is the only way we can continue to unearth these disturbing truths for you. After the massacre, investigators arrived. They found reels of Jones' final speech recorded. They called it the death tape. In it, you can hear his calm voice guiding his flock into the abyss. No screaming, only resigned silence broken by children crying. He told them not to be afraid, that death was nothing more than crossing over. He lied until the last breath was taken. The name Jonestown has since become shorthand for blind obedience, for the danger of charismatic leaders who demand faith without question. But here is the unsettling thought. It was not just about one man. It was about the universal hunger for belonging, the human need to believe in something greater. Jonestown is a mirror held up to humanity. It shows what happens when our desire for meaning collides with a leader who knows how to exploit it. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing in that pavilion. The heat, the smell of poison, the cries fading, the certainty that there is no way out. Would you drink, would you refuse, or would you freeze like so many did, waiting for someone else to choose for you? This is why Jonestown haunts us, because it forces us to ask not what they did, but what we might do under the same pressure. Faith, community, loyalty, survival, all twisted until they became the same word, death. And in the end, Jim Jones did not drink like the others. He shot himself, a coward's ending, a manipulator who led his people into the grave but refused to swallow the same poison, the true mark of a tyrant hiding behind faith. Jonestown is gone. The jungle reclaimed the land, but the lesson is still alive. Whenever you hear a voice that tells you to stop questioning, whenever you feel tempted to trade freedom for comfort, remember the pavilion, remember the silence of 900 lives, remember that blind faith can kill. This is not just history, it is a warning, and maybe that is why you are here tonight, to face the darkness, not to turn away from it, because in the shadows of Jonestown, we find the most disturbing truth of all, that the line between belief and death can be drawn by nothing more than a voice